Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the inside and outside of my movie theatre. Now, I shouldn't have to tell you guys that if you want to follow this video along, you should probably have this portion of the movie theatre built. This is the actual theatre building. It'll probably take you about an hour, including doing all of the walls and stuff. So, if you do want to follow this along, you can find this tutorial in both the card system and the description below. I'll be leaving that linked there, plus a couple of other playlists if you guys would want to check them out. And also, do remember that at the end of that video, I gave you guys some homework. So, you were supposed to fill in the floor with red wool, completely rip it up and fill it in with red wool. That's something else that you'll have to do to progress onto this video. So, once you've got all of that stuff taken care of, once you have this built, once you have the floor taken care of, you can follow this along. And please do remember, guys, that if you do like this video, please throw it a like. I'd really appreciate it. Also, comment down below, what should I make next? You can do the same thing on Twitter, follow me at TSMC360, and also do remember to check out the cards and description below for all of my other stuff. But that is way more than enough talking. Why don't we actually talk about building the inside and outside of this thing? So we're going to start off with the inside first of all, and we've got quite a bit of the structure to add. So the first thing that we're going to do on the inside, you'll notice that the left and right of the inside entrance, you can see the back of the movie posters, right? That's a problem. So what you have to do is you have to duplicate the wall just behind the actual wall here. And to do that, you just want to do a row of a block of quartz right at the bottom, and then you want to fill in the wall with sandstone. So this is basically just so that we don't have like the inside portion of the movie poster inside the movie theatre. So that's all we're doing. We have to do that on the right, and we also have to quite predictably do this on the left as well. Something else that we'll have to do once we have done this, and do remember that it's just that one row of quartz right at the bottom, and then it's the sandstone everywhere else. So it's really easy to do. Whoops, I just placed a random one there. So it's really easy to do. It shouldn't cause you too much trouble whatsoever. And there we go. We now have two clean inside walls. Well, what we now have to do is we have to make two alcoves in this place. One where you like buy confectionaries like popcorn and stuff, and one where you actually buy the tickets. So the one on the left hand side of the theatre here is where you buy the tickets. Come to the inside corner of like this part of the front of your movie theatre, basically the corner of the wall that you just constructed. You want to take this third quartz block coming in, so this is the first one on the corner, second, third, and you want to go right of this block towards the back of the theatre by 8 with your hand inside. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Then place a block of quartz next to the 8th block, drag that quartz towards you by 2, 1, 2, and then take that same quartz and extend it backwards to form this sort of shape on the floor. What you then want to do is you want to construct a wall here. So that wall is just simply made of sandstone. So on top of the quartz, you want to add a layer of sandstone like this. Quite simple, really. It shouldn't take you too much time. And this is just going to provide the little alcove that like you'll be able to buy the tickets and stuff in. That's what that's for. Now on the opposite side, we do want the same thing here. Well, kind of. So we want to take this corner block in the floor here, and we want to extend this corner block. And by the way, you know what? Dig into the floor, and you want to dig out an area of 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you want to place andesite in there. So do a row of 8 coming across and place andesite in there. On top of this 9th block, place a block of quartz. Extend that block of quartz towards the wall, the side wall, and then you want to construct a sandstone wall here on top of the quartz. So just construct a sandstone wall here on top of the quartz, and well, it's pretty easy from there. And then this will of course set the boundary for where we're going to have like the popcorn machine and all that fun stuff. So there you go, quite easy really. Well, once you've got that taken care of, what we now want to do is we want to set where the actual screen is going to be. So I think that what we'll do first is we'll construct the screen, and then we'll set the wall. So right at the very back left hand corner of the theatre is where we want to be. So we want to come all the way back here. So we then want to, from this block, this first block that we have, we want to count in, and we want to find the 8th block in. So this is the first block, second, third, fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. From this 8th block, we want to do a row of 4 andesite coming out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to find the on the opposite side the 8th quartz block as well. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's right. And then 4 andesite coming forward. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check that again just to make sure. So this will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that will be the 8th block. We then want to connect the 4th andesites together. So this will take a second or two, as you might imagine. We have to do a pretty big area. And then we want to fill in this area with oak wood planks. There's always like a little stage area just below the screens, or at least all of the movie theatres that I've been to, and that's what this is. It's just a big giant kind of like platform that you see underneath the screen. That's what this is, so we'll just fill that in there. We then want to add a rectangular shape of block of quartz starting from each one of the 2 corners of the end of this little platform that we've made here. So we want to form a rectangular block of quartz shape like this, and we want to connect it at the top here, and basically it wants to come as high as the sandstone, so just 1 row below the nether brick. It wants to come as high as that, and the quartz also wants to connect at the bottom, and this is what the screen is going to be. I mean, this is the screen, there's nothing more to say about it, so that's the screen. I have a lot of torches in here that are providing light. Something else that you have to do, you then have to fill it in with black wool, but I'll tell you what, we'll do that later. So that's the screen. Another material that we're going to need, which we don't actually have, is we need cyan stained clay. And we also need another material that we don't have, is we need ourselves some buttons. So next to the screen, we're going to have a couple of speakers. So these speakers are 1 block away from the screen, and they are 1 shorter than the screen from the top and the bottom. So you cut one off the top and it's 1 row away. You then want to add an additional row of cyan stained clay to the left of what you've made. And then you want to leave a gap of 1 between this speaker and then construct another. We are very, very slowly losing light to this movie theatre. We then want to apply buttons all the way up and down these speakers, and they look remotely like speakers then. Do that on that side, do it on the other side. So on the other side, remember, 1 row away from the screen and 1 row higher, and 1 row lower and 1 row higher than the bottom and the top. We want to have like the rectangular shaped speaker, and we want 2 on the left and we want 2 on the right. You guys know how to construct these. These are really, really easy. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like that. So there you have the empty screen and you have the speakers. Well, what we now have to do is we have to construct the wall. The wall is just to separate, of course, like the foyer, the place, the entrance, all of that stuff, and the actual like theatre. So come to the very left hand side of your theatre, and you want to find the first block in this wall. So in this wall that you have like just right of where you buy the tickets, you want to find this, and you want to leave a gap of 5 from here and where we're going to build the wall. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to be from this 6th block, and we want to place ourselves a block of quartz from this block. We then want to do an oak wood plank next to it, go up on top of that plank by 1, do a dark oak plank, go right of that dark oak plank by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect that down to the ground with oak wood planks. Then you want to do a row of block of quartz that comes quite the way across to the opposite side, but it'll stop somewhere about here, because we then want to, on this opposite side, do the same thing. So just to help line it up a little bit, we want to start from the same block on the other side. We want to do a block of quartz, then an oak wood plank. We want to go up on top of that plank by 1, then a dark oak plank, then extend that to the left where we just were by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to extend that down by 2 of the oak wood planks, and then we can just destroy the block of quartz in the middle like this. So that's quite easy, and that's where the entrance is. Now, to progress on to the next bit, it's really easier for us if we have this wall. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 things. I am going to fill this wall in with sandstone block, and I'm also going to fill in the movie screen with black wool. This will take a decent amount of time, so I'm not going to include it in the tutorial, but you guys know what to do. Pause this video if necessary, and once we've all done this, we can hit play, and then you'll be back with me. So I'll be back in a second once I've filled this this wall in with a sandstone block, and then once I've filled the screen in as well. Do both of those things. Screen black, wall sandstone. And there we go, guys. We have the screen filled in, and we have this back wall filled in. So there's now a separation between the actual like movie theater and the rest of the place. So once you've got that taken care of, and I understand that takes a few minutes or so, so pause this video if necessary, take care of it. Once you've finished that, hit play and you can continue on with the rest of us. Well, once you've got that taken care of, the next order of business is for us to do these seats. So the seats are on this back wall and they begin just 2 blocks away from the entrance. So the entrance that is on the inside the wall here, we want to, from this oak wood plank, we want to count in and find the second quartz. So that's 1 and 2, easy enough. We then want to construct a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a row of 7 coming from this quartz in front of this quartz with quartz. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to take this block just up above this wall and we want to extend it forwards by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to take that block above that and extend this forwards by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then we want to take that block above that and we want to extend it forwards by 1 to give us this shape. Well, we want to take this shape and we want to do the same thing on the opposite end. So on the opposite end here, we'll take the second quartz coming in, we'll extend it forwards by 7 with our quartz, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then above that block, we'll do a row of 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll then do a row of 3, that's 1, 2, 3. And then a row of 1, so that's what we want to have. That's quite easy, isn't it, guys? There's nothing too complicated about that. Well, once you've got that taken care of, we now want to take out our dark oak planks, and we want to trace along the top side of this shape with the dark oak wood planks like this. So can you see what I mean? We want to take this shape, the top of it, and we want to extend it over by 1. We then want to take this top dark oak wood plank, and we want to go right of it by 4 with our oak wood stairs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a dark oak plank. Then go right and do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dark oak wood plank. Then do a row of 5 dark oak wood stairs, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do a dark oak wood plank. Then 4 stairs, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Dark oak wood plank. Then a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a dark oak wood plank. Then trace along the top of the quartz shape on the opposite side and you'll see that we now have kind of like a template for how this is going to go. And we need a couple more materials to accomplish this. So we'll get rid of black wool, get rid of torches, and we actually need fence. But what we don't need for a while is sandstone and andesite. So we'll grab red sandstone slabs, we'll grab some quartz slabs. We'll also grab ourselves, we don't have this material yet, but we'll be grabbing ourselves some red stained clay or a completely different color. Why don't we change this color schema? Why don't we grab like a light blue clay instead? You can use what you want, however. So what we're now going to do is we're going to take this center seat. So this is the center seat. It's bigger than the rest of them. It's the row of 5. And what we want to do is we want to have kind of like this steepled down, kind of like stair shape with the dark oak wood planks on either side of this. So it's actually easier to kind of like do it than to kind of like tutorial it. But can you see what we've done there? We want to have that sort of shape with the dark oak wood stairs. And what we want to do is, we want to take this row of dark oak wood stairs that is 1 row in front and below the middle row of 5 oak wood stairs, and we want to do a row of red sandstone slabs that is 1 row lower than the actual like oak wood stairs. Then 1 row lower than that, or half a row I should say, we want to have a row of quartz slabs, half a row lower than the red sandstone. And then half a row lower than that, we want to have a row of red sandstone slabs, which is hard for me to say really. And then half a row lower than that. Wow, tongue twisters. We want to have the quartz, so on and so forth, until we eventually reach the ground. So just keep doing it until you eventually reach the ground. So we want to have something which should look, and I know this is a little hard to see, it's hard to light this place up. You'll end up with something that should look a little bit like that, which is quite easy, right? Well, on the left and right of this, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have our dark oak wood stairs like left and right. So we basically just want to make it so that the slabs don't poke up anywhere, if you understand. So can you see what I mean? Like, we want to make it so that the slabs, they don't poke up anywhere like that. What we then want to do is we want to copy the pattern of these stairs here onto the ends of these rows. You know what's easier to understand? I'll show you. So we want to first of all take out our light blue stained clay, and 1 row in front of and below the top row of stairs, we want to have a row of light blue stained clay, or any color. Red stained clay actually looks a little bit better looking at this, but hey, it was worth a go. And then in front of this row of clay, we want to have the same configuration of chairs that we have up above us. So we want to have the same configuration of chairs that's up above us, just one row down, if you can see. We then want to, below these chairs, we want to have one row below and one row in front. We want to have the carpet again, because that's what this is. This is carpet that we're essentially placing. And then in front of that carpet, we then want to have the same configuration of chairs that we have just up above us. It's a lot of copying and pasting, basically. And then one row below this, we want to have one row below, one row in front. We want to have, again, kind of like the carpet, again. Very, very easy, really. And once you've got that taken care of, what we then want to do is we want to place an oak wood fence here on the separating... We want to place an oak wood fence on the separating dark oak wood planks in between the chairs. And then we want to do a row of dark oak wood planks that is in front of the carpet. So we want to do a row of dark oak wood planks that is in front of the carpet. We also want to do a row of oak wood fence that kind of like goes all the way around the edge of what we've just built. But of course, the fence does not want to stop anybody from sitting down. So it wants to go all the way around what we've just made, except it just doesn't want to stop anybody sitting down. So you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like that. And that might be a little bit too colourful for your tastes, if you can even see, because it's very, very dark at the moment. I wish that I could make it lighter without getting the torches in the way. The next thing that we may do after this is we may actually take care of the whole like lighting situation. We might add the roof lights in because it is a little bit dark, but this is what it ends up looking like. Change the materials if you like, but that's the seating plan for this. It's quite simple. Well, once you've got that taken care of, this is what we're going to do next. So this is really, really simple. You know how that there's always chairs in front of these, in front of like where everybody sits on, where they're kind of like in rows at the back, right? Where it's kind of like steepled upwards, they're all placed diagonally. Well, there's always chairs at the front, isn't there, right in front of the screen? Well, we want to add those. So in the same configuration that we have the chairs here, so where we have like this row of 4, and that row of 5 at the top, and then the other 2 rows of 4, we want to have those same chairs, except they want to be a couple of rows in front of what we've made. So we want to leave a gap of 3 between these and where we're going to place them. So that's like 1, 2, and 3. And then on top of this 4th row, we want to have the row of chairs. So can you see this starts where they do back there, and we have the row of 4, leave a gap of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we can leave a gap of 1, and then a row of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gap of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gap of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can leave a gap of 3 between these chairs and the next one. So we can leave like 1, 2, 3, and on this 4th row, we just want to have the same configuration that we've just placed behind us. And if you want to color code these chairs, you can. So for instance, I wish I hadn't have just gotten rid of all my materials. If you kind of want to color code like the best chairs typically, right, are usually like right up front. Like these are like the premium seats that you pay a nice bit of money for. So if you want to spruce them up and place some like quartz, and if you want to have some like polished andesite, and if you want to place some things that kind of resemble cups, so like some flower pots that kind of resemble cups, you can make it so that these chairs are just a little bit better. They're a little bit bigger than all of the ones behind them. Alternatively, you don't have to do any of that, and you can kind of have like a whole equal thing. But this is something that you may just want to do if you want there to be a nice little bit of a separation, and you can even color code the back. I mean, personally, I don't like the back row of seats. I don't like sitting all the way back up there. I kind of like it up at the front. There's usually a bar that I can rest my legs on. I'm a little bit closer to the actual film. I don't like sitting back up here, so I'm going to use some what I consider to be ugly stairs, the nether brick stairs, and I'm going to make a set of ugly stairs right at the back. And if you like, you can also do the same thing down below here. So if you take maybe like, I don't know, maybe you really love sitting at the front, right? So right at the front, we can always replace these oak wood stairs with birchwood stairs. Maybe you like this block, maybe you don't. And if you do so happen to hate them, use a block that maybe you don't like so much. And right behind these, why don't we use another interesting colour? We will use ourselves the Acacia stairs. So you can just customize this, you can mess about with it as much as you want, and you can make the theatre look nice and interesting. But that is just about everything, except we do have one nice thing. We have the projector. So this is kind of like an old-fashioned theatre, I guess, and we have a big projector on the back wall. And to make the projector, we're going to need some polished andesite, we'll need the stone slabs. We'll also need a bit of black wool, we'll also have some buttons. We'll also need ourselves some stonebrick stairs and some stone slabs. So we want to find the very middle block of the back row of these stairs. It's easy to find because it's the middle block of the back row of the center seat, so this block here. We want to trace this all the way up until we reach the second to top block, so this one. We want to place a stone brick stairs coming down from this, and then we want to place a stone brick slabs coming down from the lower half of it. We want to have an upside down stone brick stairs, and then we want to have a stone brick slab coming out. We then want to place a black wall. We want to place 2 black wool going left, 1, 2, and 2 black wool going right, 1, 2. Place a row of 3 black on top, and a row of 3 black underneath the 3 middle blocks. We then want to place a row of polished andesite on the front of this, and it wants to kind of look like a plus shape like this. We want to have a stone slab underneath and on top of each one of the left and right andesites like that. We then just want to add some buttons on the showing black walls left and right. And if you like, you can kind of have like, you can make it look a little bit more mechanical. You can add some like redstone and stuff to the top of this, if you so choose, I mean, where it'll let you. And if you want, you can also have like a little redstone torch. Well, I mean, it's not letting us place it, is it? Will it light it up from as far back as that? I mean, we can always replace this block if we want to. We can always have like, we can have that taken off, and we can place like a redstone torch, and we can have it lit up and what have you. And if you want, you can even place like, if you like, you can place like a glowstone block, kind of like set here, just so that you have a bit of a light emitting from it. But that's kind of up to you. So you can just mess about with that, and you can have like a projector sort of thing, and that's kind of like an on button, and obviously that would project onto the screen. So that is pretty much it for like this half of the movie theatre. Not too difficult. So I've actually changed my mind on what we're going to do next. So once you've got the like movie theatre part taken care of, we now want to come inside the foyer here. We're going to need, for this first bit, we'll need ourselves some quartz block. I really wish I hadn't gotten rid of everything. We'll need some polished andesite. We'll need some oakwood fence. We'll also need some brown stained clay. We'll need some wooden trapdoors. We'll need ourselves some glowstone. We're also going to need ourselves some wooden buttons, and we'll need some paintings as well. Plus, we'll also need some dark oak wood planks. Okay. So first, what we want to do in the ground is we want to connect the ends of the areas that you have on the left and right, where we built the 2 additional walls, right? We want to connect those together with a row of quartz block in the ground like this. Can you see what I'm talking about? I'm sure you can. It's quite easy to see. So you want to have something which should look like that. So that's like a separation between the entrance and where you actually walk in and see the film. We then, starting from the left-hand side here, building on top of the quartz, we want to have this pattern of blocks. So we want to go right, and we want to do 5 fence. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 andesite. 5 fence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 andesite. Leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3, and then place 1 andesite, then 5 fence. I think that's 5. 1 andesite, then 5 fence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there you have it connected to the opposite side like that. And we've also found the very center block in the cinema. And luckily for us, we also have a torch marking this out. So for reference, this very center quartz block in this middle of 3 quartz, this is the center block of the cinema. Follow this block backwards to the wall that we constructed earlier and place a brown stained clay. Place some wooden trapdoors around the brown stained clay. I realise that this is a bit dark here, we're about to light this up. Left and right of this, and by the way, we'll need another material. We can get rid of quartz for a while, and we are absolutely going to need ourselves some oakwood stairs. So going left of this little planter that we've made, we want to leave a gap of 1, and then place a dark oak plank. Going left of that, place 2 oakwood stairs, dark oak plank. 2 oakwood stairs, dark oakwood plank. Leave a gap of 1, place a brown stained clay, and then some wooden trapdoors around this place. So, wooden trapdoors around there. Then what we want to do is we want to go right of this plant, this middle one, We want to do the same thing. Leave a gap of 1, place a dark oak wood plank. Then do 2 stairs, 1 plank, 2 stairs, 1 plank, leave a gap of 1, do a planter. The planters are easy. It's just the brown stained clay with trapdoors all around it. What we then want to do is, hovering above each one of the dark oak wood planks, we want to leave a gap of 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and on this 4th block actually place an oak wood fence. Below that place a glowstone here. So we want to have a clearance of 2 between the glowstone and the dark oak wood plank. So that's actually an easy way to look at it. You want to 2 rows above each one of the dark oak wood planks, place a glowstone, and then place an oak wood fence on top, like that. What we then want to do is we want to come to the very left here, and let me just grab the plans just to make sure that I'm actually going to be doing this correctly. We want to, on the very left and right, next to the entrance of where you'd actually view the film, we want to have a planter in each one of the corners here. So we want to have a planter. And then, once we've placed our planters, you don't do the inside of the planters because it's not necessary. You want to have a dark oak wood plank next to the planter with an oak wood stairs in there. You then want to leave a clearance of 2 between the dark oak wood planks of the C, and then you want to place an oak wood fence above the glowstone, like that. Do that on the left hand side and do it all the way over on the right as well. So on the right, remember, we want to have our planter. We'll place the plant in there later. And then we want the wooden trapdoors on the front. We don't have to do the sides. And then it's a dark oak wood plank followed by an oak wood stairs right in the middle. Place glowstone 2 blocks above the dark oak wood plank, and then in an oak wood fence on top. There you go. So we have a bit of light emitting now. So what we now want to do is we want to construct some movie posters. These aren't the best movie posters, but they look interesting, to say the very least. So the way that we're going to do these posters is we're going to leave a gap of 1 between the torches that we've made and where we're going to make them. So we'll start with this. Above this left-hand seating area on this back wall, we'll leave a gap of 1 here above this very left-hand torch. So this is a gap of 1. We'll move right and we'll place a row of 5 andesite going right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should place it firmly in the center of the seed. We then want to take this left-hand andesite, go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go right, connect it down. Place some sort of material in the back of this andesite. We then want to place paintings until we have made a satisfactory movie poster. So this will look better if it's made up of smaller paintings, basically. So it wants to look a little something like this. You very rarely get a good painting that fill this. As a matter of fact, I don't know if one is either like, I don't know if one fills the dimensions of this little plot that we have here, but that's what we have. This is supposed to represent a movie poster. Do this on the left and do it on the right. So on the right, come to this very left-hand torch, hovering above this chair. Leaving your gap of 1 between the movie poster and the torch, you want to take the sandstone block, move right by 1. Place a row of 5 andesite going right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you want to go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Go left, connect down. Perfect. Throw some sort of material in the back there. Then do paintings until you're happy with a movie poster. I'm obviously not happy with that because I don't really want 2 of the same painting here. So I'm just going to mess about with this. You know what I'll do? I'll place 1 here. No, I kind of want like a double painting. So like, there we go, perfect. And then a single one here. And there we go, we have a movie poster. We'll place our buttons in each one of the 4 corners of this poster, and we'll end up with something that should look a little bit like that. So they're not the only posters that we're going to have to make, and thinking about it, you know what, we should probably move on to the next poster since we're in the mood. So they're the posters on the back, and this is pretty much the little area between here and where you'd watch the film done. Okay, so behind the sign at the front of the building, we want to, starting from in front of this row of red wool, we want to place a row of polished andesite in front of this, like so. We then want to take the ends of the andesite row and we want to extend them upwards until they hit the ceiling, connect them together at the top to form a very large rectangle with the andesite, like this. We'll then need another material. We're going to need some pillar block quartz. This is a bit boring, but we've got to fill the back of this in with pillar block quartz. It'll take a second or 2, guys, to fill this in. I have nothing more to say. So we'll fill this in with the pillar block quartz, and we'll then construct the posters. The posters are a little bit different, but very, very similar to the ones on the back in the fact that they are posters, and they actually look a little bit different, and they look a little bit better, these posters, because they're only comprised of one painting. But we do need some different materials to make them. So once you have the row of pillar block quartz, here's what you'll need to progress. We'll need some... Oh, we don't actually need those stairs. So we'll need ourselves some spruce wood planks. We already have the wooden buttons. And we'll need ourselves some redstone torches. Where are they? Some redstone lamps. And we'll need ourselves some... We'll get rid of wooden trapdoors and brown stained clay for a while. And we will need some sort of like redstone block like this, and we should be okay with the rest of this as I talk slowly. Yeah. Okay, so the way that we want to do these posters, starting from the very bottom left hand corner of the pillar quartz, we want to move in by one, and we want to do a row of 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 spruce wood planks. Leave a gap of 1, do another row of 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Come over to the opposite side, do a similar thing. Take this bottom right hand corner block, move in by 1, and go left by 4 with the spruce wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Extend up the ends of those 4 spruce wood plank rows, each by 3, that's 1, 2, 3, and then connect them together at the top. Or alternatively, just like extend one up, drag it over to the right, and then connect it down. That's a much easier way of doing it, and honestly, you'll save yourself a nice little bit of time by doing that. So you want to have something which should look like this. You can then fill these things in with a material of choice. Like it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter what material you decide to put in here. I'm just using block of redstone. I hope I can place paintings on these. And then inside of these we want to, oh thank god, inside of these we want to place a painting. But not just any painting. The painting actually wants to fill the area of a block of redstone. So any painting that is 2 by 2 is perfectly fine. We're actually getting loads of them. I'm kind of happy. There we go. So we have 4 unique ones, each of them filling the dimensions of the redstone block. We then want to place wooden buttons in each one of the 4 corners, and we'll have some pretty decent looking movie posters. Does anyone else see the Enderman? What else do we want to do? Well, we want to have some lamps here. So these lamps are in line with the second row of the painting, starting from the bottom here. We want to knock out these 2 pillar quartz blocks in between the 2 center posters. We want to knock out these blocks and place redstone block, or any power source. Place redstone lamps in front, and then oak wood fence on top. And there we have some pretty fancy looking lights, with our Enderman looking down on us. Once you've got that taken care of, we have a couple of things left to do. We can add a little bit more lighting. We can add some glowstone, and we can add some oak wood fence. We'll add a bit of lighting between the entrance and between like the places where you grab all the stuff. So leaving a clearance of 2 between the quartz and where we're placing these. We want to have some lights, so the lights will be positioned like this on the left here. So you want to leave a row of 2 between that and the quartz, and you want to have them like right in the center of the wall, and then 1 row apart from each other. Do that on the left. Do it on the right. On the right, we want to have the same thing. So this is a middle block. Follow this up until we're on the 3rd sandstone. Glow, glow, fence, fence. There we go, that's great. So we want to have something which should look like that. If you like, you can have the same sort of thing like above the entrance. So if you want the entrance to be lit up, like you can have loads and loads of these if you like. I wish that I could have lamps. Lamps would actually be a little bit better, but we can't have lamps because I don't know how we'd power them, to be completely honest with you. I mean, we could have switches, but there we go. We want lots of light in this place. Well, once you've got that taken care of, I guess that the next order of business is going to be for us to take care of the little right hole and the little left hole here. So we're actually going to take care of the much harder one, which is going to be the confectionaries. So the confectionaries is where you buy like all of the sweets and all of that stuff. So to do this one, we need loads of materials. We'll need ourselves some spruce wood planks. We'll need some oak wood planks. We'll also need ourselves some wooden trapdoors. We need some polished andesite, wherever that may be, some polished andesite. We also need some red wool, and we need some white wool. We'll need ourselves some stone stairs, and we need ourselves some stone brick slabs. And we need loads of other stuff, so I won't even bother listing the rest. So right in the back of this wall here, on the right hand side, we want to, from this back corner block, we want to have a row of 3 spruce wood planks coming forward. So that's 1, 2, 3. We then, going right of this, in front of this, we want to have a row of oak wood stairs that comes all the way over to the right and leaves a gap of 1. Place a wooden trapdoor here connecting it to the wall. On the right hand side, in the back right hand corner, we want a row of polished andesite that comes all the way to the left hand side and leaves a gap of 1. We then, on top of this very left-hand andesite block, we want to stack a red wall with a white on top. Right of that, we want a white wall with red on top. We then want to have stonebrick stairs on top of this with a row of stonebrick slabs in front. We want to have andesite in front of the 2 polished andesite that everything's kind of sat on, like that. That's the majority of that done. If you like, you can also add some levers, whatever, to the left-hand side, left of the red and left of the white wall, like that. Great. Once you've got that taken care of, we have a couple more things to add. So I'm just going to get rid of everything, and I'm going to grab some oak wood stairs, and I'll grab some oak wood slabs. We're also going to need, once again, andesite. I keep getting rid of all my stuff. We'll need some item frames and some food. I don't know. I'll grab like golden apples and watermelon. Why not? And just because I'm me, I'll grab some cake. We also need some furnaces. And we need some stone slabs. We need so much stuff, guys. So, right at the end here, we want to have, in the andesite, we want to have a row of 2 upside down oak wood stairs here. So, like in front of the quartz, in between the andesite, we want to have 2 dark oak wood stairs. Then we want to have 2 item frames above those, and we want to have like a golden apple and like a melon in there. And then above that, we want to have like oak wood slabs. So these are just supposed to represent shelves where you can buy some stuff. Do the same on the opposite side. So we want like the 2 upside down dark oak wood stairs, then item frames here and here, and we can have like a golden apple this time, a bit of cake. Place some oak wood slabs just above those. Again, shelves. We want to have the entire floor replaced with andesite. So whilst we have all the stuff, we may as well do it. Just kind of like replace this with andesite. No big deal. It'll take a second or two, and it's a little bit tricky. Really, we should have started with this. If somebody could have let me know that we were going to be doing this, then yeah, we should have probably replaced the floor first. So we'll replace all of the floor, even underneath the counters. It will take a second or two. We don't have to do anything there, and we'll leave the red carpet back there because why not? So what we now want to do, we want to place 2 furnaces here on the 2 center blocks right where the andesite is at the back. Place slabs on top of the furnaces. Get rid of everything. Grab yourselves some tripwire hooks, and we need ourselves some plant pots. Plus, we'll also need some oak wood fence, and we'll need some glowstone. And 2 types of carpet. Yellow and purple are some of my favorites. We'll place 2 flower pots in front of this drinks machine with tripwire hooks in front of the top 2 rows of wall. We then want to apply some lighting. So the lighting is going to be 1 row above the shelves, and it wants to be right in the center of the wall. So the easiest way to do that is just have 2 rows on the left and 2 rows of the right of the glowstone. Place oak wood fence above the glowstone. Come to the opposite wall, do the same thing. So glowstone here, oak wood fence just above, and we have the lighting. What we then want to do is apply some carpet to this place. So we'll just have a few strips of carpet here, just like right in the center of the floor. Probably not that pattern because that's a bit silly. We'll have some like purple and some yellow carpet like right in the center of the floor, and that's kind of like the confectionaries. If you like, you can also add some things like you can add like a till, and you can add some more flower pots, and something that kinda looks like a popcorn machine, maybe some red stained glass, and maybe some like yellow carpet, and you can have like let's put the register here, and we can have like a red stained glass with yellow carpet on top, and we can have a couple of drinks like here, and that kind of looks a little bit better. There we go. We have a nice little confectionery area. You can buy all your snacks and stuff, of which there will probably, if I'm with you, be many. So there we go. That's that part. Shall we move on to the easier one? Yeah, I think we should. So I'm just going to get it up on the plans here, guys. Believe it or not, I can't do this all from memory. So come all the way over to the opposite side here. What we want to do first of all is we want to replace the floor. I've learned from the opposite side, and we want to replace the floor with oak wood planks, just because it's a little bit different than the red wall. Keep the red wall if you're into it. If not, like I said, just plank it up. Just plank it up. So we're just going to fill this in with planks. And once we've filled this in with planks, it's really easy on this side, luckily. So we just want to, I keep repeating myself because there's nothing happening. There we go. We replace it with planks. We can actually get rid of those planks because we don't need them, and we can grab ourselves some stone brick stairs, and we need some oak fence. We also need some stone bricks. We'll have some dark oak wood planks. We'll have some wooden trap doors. We'll need some more andesite. I've grabbed andesite so many times it's not funny. We'll need some black wool. We'll need some signs. We'll also need some... Oh, where is it, guys? This is so crazy. We also need... Oh, they're not signs. They're item frames. So we'll need some signs and some sea lanterns. That's what we're after. Okay. So right on the back wall here, in front of this row of quartz, we want to go from left to right and do this pattern of blocks. We want to do one stone brick, one dark oak plank, one brick, two planks, one brick, one plank, one brick. Replace those center stone bricks with upside down stairs just to add a bit of variation. Add some wooden trapdoors in front of the wooden blocks, like this. We then, leaving one row above this, we want to go from left to right here, we want to have a dark oak wood plank in each one of the corners here, and then we want to have polished andesite all the way in between. We then want to go up on top of the planks by 3 with the andesite, that's 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place a dark oak wood plank on top of the andesite. Connect it together top block to top block with andesite to form this rectangular pattern. That's one row above the counters that we've made. We have dark oak wood planks in the corners, 3 andesites on top of those planks, connect everything together to form a rectangle. Fill in the bottom row and the top row of this board that we've made with black wool. Fill the center of it in with sea lanterns. Then, in front of the black wool, we want to do this. We want to go from left to right, we want to place 2 signs next to each other, leave a gap of 1 sign, gap of 1 sign. Then, do the same thing just below. So if you like, the idea here is you put like a movie title here in these 2 signs, like a full title, and then like timings here and here in the single signs. That's what that's for, basically. We're going to take out some wooden buttons, and we'll place wooden buttons inside each one of the 4 corners of this little machine that we've made, like this. Perfect. Then we'll add some registers. We'll add a register like right here. We'll leave a gap of 2, and then we'll place another register. Gap of 2, register. We're now just going to add some separation, so we can grab ourselves some like block of quartz here, and we want to basically, we can go all the way around the foyer with our block of quartz. So we can kind of like go all the way around the foyer with our block of quartz like this, stopping for the entrances. And this is kind of like difficult to explain. So I'm just going to do it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. So can you see the sort of shape that we've made? How we're kind of like connecting everything together. So we want to take the outer shape of the little foyer here, we want to dig it out, we're going to replace it all with quartz, except we do not want to, can't believe I just used the word except we want to leave gaps for the entrance. So just leave some gaps for the entrance here so you're not walking directly onto the quartz, and that's what you want to have. And what you also want to do is, once you have your quartz added in here, you want to, coming towards each one of these tills, you want to kind of like separate these areas. So it'll even out like this, like starting from the left you want to leave a gap of 2, place your quartz, gap of 2, quartz, gap of 2. And then we'll need ourselves some oakwood fence, and we'll need ourselves some glowstone. On top of the 2 quartz that you just placed, either side place some fence. And we want to, hanging above the tills but leaving a clearance of 1, we want to have a glowstone with an oakwood fence on top of said glowstone, like that. And that is the area where you'd order your tickets and stuff. That is the confectionaries. We have all of the posters here. We have our lovely little Enderman looking down on us. Something that would make that harder to see, not that it has to be harder to see really, is if this was like 1 row above where it was. So as if it was like coming out of the popcorn. If that makes sense. We'll put the lighter colour on the end, just so it looks a bit more menacing. And or does that make it look a little bit? Oh, that's the wrong colour wool. Purple here, and then black wool here, so it looks a little bit more menacing. That looks less like an Enderman and more like a ninja. So I'm going to place the darker colour on the end, and then boom, boom, boom. There we go. That's more Enderman-y, isn't it? So that's a little bit more hidden. Just a nice little Easter egg if someone wants to look at it. It's like, what the hell is that? So there we go. That is the foyer, pretty much complete in most of its details, except we can also add ourselves some more plants, more plants, and we'll need some brown stained clay, we'll need some trapdoors, and we'll need some jungle leaves. So you can add these sparingly around the place. So like in the corners is good, and maybe in between some of the doors is also good. So you can add some like maybe like here and here, but don't do it everywhere. I probably wouldn't add it everywhere. I mean, you can, you know, it's your theatre, you do what you want, but I'm not trying to add too many of these. You can go around the existing plants and you can place the jungle leaves or whatever leaves it is that you want to add on top of each one of the plants like this, and then I can come all the way over to the opposite side here, so boom and boom. And that is pretty much it for all of the details for the inside. The only bit that is left, and this is really irritating, is just putting like the finishing touches on things. So I'll tell you what, stuff that looks nice is like, if we take like the ends of these rows here, so can you see like these walls that we've constructed? Like if you take the ends of these rows and if you replace them with like block of quartz, and if you like connect them to where the ceiling's going to be, so you can do it with both corners. Like you can make just little detailed improvements like this that we didn't catch on the first way around, so you can kind of edit it a little bit. And you can do the same thing on this opposite side. I mean, does it make a massive difference? No, but in the end, it does look a little bit better, in my opinion. It's a little bit better than just having the single colour. Up to you whether you want to make little changes like this. Once you've added stuff like that, and if you see anything else that's kind of bothers you, like that just bothered me intensely, we can add in the roof, the ceiling. The ceiling is comprised of quartz, glowstone, and it is comprised of block of iron, or at least this half of the ceiling is. This half of the ceiling in here, where we have this, is actually going to be black and glowstone. And it can kind of be however you want it to be, but I'm just going to add a separation here. But I mean, you don't want to add too much of a light to the theatre part, like where the screen is. So I'm just basically going to be adding like a layer of black with a few strips of glowstone for the ceiling, and that's all I'm going to be doing. It's going to be quite boring, really. I'm just going to like do this, and once I've like determined the shape that the actual ceiling is in here, I'm then just going to I'm going to add like a couple of rows of glowstone. I'll probably delete a few, and it'll look something like this. So the process like determining how much light we want in here. So like I'll place like one glowstone every other block, like starting from one side going to the other, and yeah, that'll even out. So we'll have something which should look a little bit like, I messed that up, a little bit like that, right? And then like I'll delete every other block. So I'll then delete every other block because we don't need that much light to be in here. And I'll probably leave it like that. And then I'll extend the glowstone forward like this, all the way over to the opposite side. I'll fill that in with black. The inside of the foyer here is completely subjective to how much you actually want to add here. So you just want to kind of like go around everything, like establish like where a ceiling's going to be, like kind of like just go around the burgundy of the nether brick. I'm blanking on nether brick. Go around it, kind of like put a quartz border around it like I'm doing now, and you just want to have something which should look like that, if you can see. So we kind of established where this is going to be, and what we then want to do is of course just figure out where the glowstone will be. So like, why don't we try this pattern? So like 1 2, leave a gap of 1 1 2, leave a gap of 1, like 1 2, then why don't, actually, you know what, this will be different. We'll put a row of quartz here, and then we'll put 2 glowstone here, and this will run from one side to the other side. So where we have like this hallway here, so can you see like the hallway where we have like the entrances into the actual theatre and the paintings and stuff, we'll have 2 strips of glowstone that run up here, and this one will be separate. So this one, it doesn't seem like we'll be able to have too much of a logical pattern here, so we'll start with like 1 glowstone either side, throw 1 in the middle here, and we'll have 2 glowstone either side, 1 in the direct middle. We'll have a block of iron in between them, and we will like drag those from one side to the other. So can you see how I've arrived at that? How we've kind of like put a quartz border all the way around it, and we'll take the block of iron and the glowstone all the way from one side to the other. We might even smooth it out a bit, and we'll do the same thing here but with black and glowstone. I'll be back in a second and I'll show you what that looks like, because this will take a while. So this is what your roof should roughly look like once you have completed it. You can see that I've added some interesting touches interesting with some quotation marks on the ends with some like quartz block and stuff, but this is pretty much what we talked about. It's glowstone with block of iron mixed in there, and this ceiling that is like just above the foyer is completely independent here to this ceiling that is just above this little hallway, so you guys can see what this looks like. I'm sure you won't have too much trouble. And for inside the actual theatre here, we just have some strips of glowstone. I added some block of iron on the ends here, I filled it in with black wool, and I also removed the majority of the torches. I kept the torches just above the entrance, and of course that redstone one I think emits a little bit of light, but not too much, and we just have the glowstone here, and it kind of gives this whole like nice dark effect to the theatre, and that's kind of what we're after. So that's the ceiling for inside the theatre. Pause this if necessary if you want to kind of like copy it, and if for some reason like the instructions weren't good enough, just have a look at that, and I'm sure you won't have too much trouble. You can pause it any way you like, and I'll do the same thing for inside the foyer. I think that the best view of it may be this, because I think that this is the entire thing. So once you've finished all of that, I mean, pause this video if necessary if you're still working on all of that, of course. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the final part of this tutorial, which has been a long time coming. So that's the entire inside. You know, hit play once you've paused, once you've finished it, hit play. You can continue on with the rest of us. Well, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to add the outside of here, which is really easy. So to do this, we'll need polished andesite, cyan stained clay, stone slabs, buttons, grey wool, white wool, yellow wool. Easy as that. Grab the yellow wool. We want to, starting from in front of the entrance here on the left hand side, we want to take this inside quartz block. We want to leave a gap of 5 in the floor between where we're going to place between this and where we're going to place the yellow wool. So this will be the first gap, second, third, fourth, fifth. On this 6th block, place a yellow wool. Also place a yellow wool where each one of the red wools touch the floor in the entrance in the same line that you placed the original yellow wool. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like that. So starting from one quartz, going all the way to the other, placing yellow wools in between on top of each one of the red wools like that. Then place stone slabs on top of each one of those. Plus, we're also going to want to place some buttons on the front too. And these are just kind of like little stoppers to make sure that nobody drives onto the curb or anything crazy like that. That's great. We then want to do this. So we want to dig into the floor a row. So this row wants to come all the way out to the left, further than the theatre actually comes out here, and it wants to leave a gap of 3 between the theatre and where the thing ends. So let me show you. So this is an easy way to explain it. So can you see the side of the theatre here? We want to dig into the ground. We want to knock out 1, 2, 3 blocks. Replace those with cyan stained clay. Knock out the 4th block. Place polished andesite. Connect that row all the way to the front row here. You might need some grass block if you messed up like I did. So what we're basically doing here is we are going to set the perimeter for the movie theatre. So the front of the theatre begins where each one of these like little bollards begins. And the end of the theatre, you want to have a space of 3 to walk all the way around the theatre, and then the 4th block is going to perimeter the theatre. So we want to dig into the ground a row. The row is going to be andesite. So we're going to connect each one of these little bollards together here, and then we're going to dig into the ground. We'll move around the movie theatre, and we'll just establish like where all of this is. So the easiest way to do it is like just dig a row out to the right here. Come to the right hand side of the theatre, knock out 1, 2, 3 blocks. This 4th block will be andesite. Fill in the first 3 with cyan stained clay. Take this andesite and extend it forwards here. Then fill in these last 2 blocks. Fill in the actual like perimeter here with andesite. And what we're basically going to do after this, we're going to first of all fill in that first little area with andesite, so you can see where like the theatre begins and where it ends. We will also dig around the entire back of the theatre and leave a gap of 3 all the way around the theatre. But we're also going to build a road. This road is going to be 5 blocks thick. So starting from this very front left-hand corner andesite, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Replace all of those blocks with dark grey wool. Then take the 6th block, place an andesite. Extend that andesite all the way over to the right hand side by digging a row into the ground and, well, like I said, extending it all the way over to the right hand side. It will take a second or two. It is quite the long row, so it wants to come all the way here. And then you can connect it there with a row of dark grey wool, like I said, and then polished andesite all the way in between. This is going to establish where the road is. The road is going to be majoritively dark grey wool, so we are going to fill this area in once I've finished this little bit here, we're going to dig in between these two rows. We'll replace the majority of that with dark grey wall. The middle row is going to be white wall. I can actually show you the pattern now, actually. So here's the pattern here. We want to take the middle block of the road on the left. This is the middle block of the road. It's quite easy. It's a third block coming in from either side. Knock out the next 3 blocks going right and replace them with white. That's 1, 2, 3, replace them with white. Leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, knock out 3. Gap of 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 3, so you guys get it, so on and so forth, going all the way over to the opposite side. This is the pattern that we're going to build into the road, and that should leave you, boom, that should connect to the opposite side there, to the dark grey wall. No questions asked, it should. It's 3, miss 3, 3, miss 3, place white wall, boom, there you go. The road will be filled in with dark grey wall, just because we want to give contrast to the cyan of the movie theatre. Once you've got the white wall taken care of, you can then destroy that, replace that with dark grey wall. But something else that we have to do is we have to dig all the way around the theatre, leaving a gap of 3 around the base of the theatre. We'll fill in the 4th row, which is this one. We'll fill this in with andesite. So we want to leave a gap of 3, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4th block is where the andesite is going to go. We'll dig this out, place the andesite in the perimeter, throw cyan stained clay in the centre, dig out the road, throw dark grey wall. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'll be back in a second once that is all done. But I mean, I've almost finished the perimeter, so I'll finish it with you. So we want to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this should connect all the way over to the opposite side. I'll then, in this line, like I said, andesite, cyan stained clay in the centre, dark grey wool in the road, easy as pie, which they do not sell at the confectionery. So I'm going to be back in a second once that's all done. It'll take a second or two because it's a lot of an area to dig out, but I'll be back once it's all done, I promise. Back in a second. So this is what it should look like once you have completely filled in the road and the area surrounding the theatre. Remember, that final row wants to be polished andesite, fill it in with cyan stained clay, and then fill the road in with dark grey wool. And I would tell you guys to pause this video if necessary and then you can continue on, but this is the entire movie theatre finished. That is it completely furnished. That's the inside done. That is the outside done. Why don't we take a quick look at this thing and then we can wrap up this tutorial. So this is the outside. The idea is that you could throw a car or two on here if you wanted to. You could even add a car park or whatever you wanted to add to your movie theatre. It kind of depends on the location. You could add like a car park on the left and right and back, and you could have like a city road out front. You'd park your car, you'd walk in here, and this is the movie theatre. Immediately you notice all of the light, the movie posters, you might even notice the cheeky Enderman, the light, the movie posters. We have the confectionery on the right here where you can grab all your sweets. Oh, an apple, wonderful, that's now upside down. And we have like a drinks machine and a furnace and even a little popcorn machine that doesn't even look like a popcorn machine. And here on the left we have a place where we can actually like buy the tickets and stuff, like that's the movie board. There's only 2 movies showing apparently, The Revenge of the Creeper and Attack of the Pig. A lot of violence in these movies. Plus we have a place where we can actually pay, and there's just loads and loads of lights. We'd obviously give the ticket to the person here and they'd let us through and we can sit down and wait for our film. We have loads and loads of lights surrounding this, loads of places to sit, and inside the actual theatre we have a giant screen. Massive screen, 2 giant speakers, and we have loads and loads of seats. We have loads at the front here, and we even have like a load of stalls at the back, and we have some fancier seats up front here where we have loads of room to place our legs and to place our arms and all our drinks and stuff. And as we move up the back, the seats get a little bit less fancy, and you develop a nosebleed from the amount of oxygen you're losing from being so high up and far away from the screen. But hey, wherever you want to sit. We also have the big projector here, and I mean, that's pretty much everything in here, to be honest. It's nice and dark, exactly how it's supposed to be in a theatre. You can remove the lights if you want, you can dim it a bit, but that's up to you. And that's the movie theatre, guys. My personal favourite part is the foyer. I love this. I love how this is designed and laid out, and I love the little Enderman Easter egg if you look up there. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is the movie theatre inside and out. All in all, the entire thing will probably take you, and I don't think that this is too bad of a timescale for how big and detailed this is, about 3 hours, I would estimate. If that, it might not even take you 3 hours, guys. Honestly, it might take you close to like 2.5 at max, I think. Depends how fast you build it, but hopefully you guys like this tutorial. I really hope you do. I spent a lot of time on this. I had to perfect it. I made the inside completely tailored for the theatre. It wasn't just something that I added on, it was actually specially built for this. It's not just something that I just kind of like, oh, you guys seem to want it, I'm going to build it. I built it anyway, I designed it to fit the theatre, and I hope you guys like it. If you do, please give this video a like, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what else I should build. You guys always have ideas of what I should build, and I'd love to hear what you guys want me to make, honestly. Do the same thing on Twitter if you like, at TSMC360. It's an easy way to keep up to date with videos and stuff as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Check out the card system in the description below if you want to check out the actual, like, the movie theatre itself, if for some reason you skip to the end, and I'll leave some playlists that I think you guys will really want to check out. If you're building a city, check out the card system. There'll be loads of stuff in there that you might want to add to the city. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.